All right, so we should be almost ready to start. So let's see, we have the live stream preview, and we are live, guys. So welcome back to another episode of Box Mining Livestream, guys. Today is Monday the 8th, at least for me on the Hong Kong side of the earth. It's bright and early in the morning, and wow, this morning was like very action filled for me. So if I look a little bit emotionally compromised, it's because this morning, right before I started the stream, I was trying to get my trades in order, right? Because I saw Ethereum moving, and I was like, you know what, I want to take a bigger position, but I did two things by mistake, right? This morning, groggy morning exercise, I was like, okay, first of all, let me close out my Ethereum shorts. All right. So last Friday, how I was a little bit worried, and then yesterday and the day before I dropped a little bit. So I was like, okay, the shorts were doing super well, and I needed to close them out. But stupid thing, instead of closing them out, I accidentally clicked sell more. I was like, you gotta, you know, you can't do this things. You can't do this in the morning, right? Like you do it in the morning, and you just click the wrong button instead of like buy. I click sell. Ugh. And then, when I click buy, I accidentally added one more zero on the end. I was like, anyways, it was just a big disastrous morning. Do not ever do crypto stuff when you just wake up, like when you're squinting and you're just looking at stuff, and you're like, it's very easy to confuse buttons. Like that's what I felt. Like especially on FTX, I figured like I don't know why, but FTX with the darker skin, the darker theme, it's easier to confuse those buy and sell buttons. I know it's such a noob mistake, but I make them in the morning. So, anyways, that's never ever do those things. This is why I haven't actually drank alcohol or done anything for the past like 3 months, right? It's like I'm super serious, trying to make sure that I never misclick buttons. It's so easy. I'm sure we all have done it. But anyways, I just want to fess up in the morning and just get that out of the way before we start with this live stream. Anyways, but on top of that, there is just a lot going on in this space. You do that, I'm super serious, and then you just look at Elon Musk's tweets, right? And you're like, I don't understand where this is going. I understand this is going. And we also got the main topic of today, which is CME futures. This is the long-awaited contracts trading on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. But of course, when it first lists, and this is the same thing with Bitcoin as well, when Bitcoin first listed on the CME, the prices did drop. And this is something that people were fearing. So we'll talk about that fear and how it didn't really manifest, right? We saw Ethereum dumping all the way down to 1,500 almost, but then it just like quickly rose up again. So yet again, we're at a situation where I feel like we're seeing a very strong support. All right, this is something like we just try to see. Okay, look, bears, they had their go, they tried to dump, but our support stands still. So anyways, just make sure we are good. So anyways, we got a lot of comments coming in. We got Mike Krenzi says, I fucked myself hard this morning with my ETH. It's hard, guys. It's hard. So ETH really recovered really quickly. And I feel like there's this week I'm still quite cautious, all right, to be honest, because Chinese New Year is just around the corner. But that being said, with the markets not going down, like I'm constantly trying to eye for the markets going down. If it's not coming, I'm going back in. That's what I was telling you guys, right? When it comes to February the 12th, right? When it comes to Friday, if it ain't going down anymore, I'm going back in even more aggressively, right? That's my take, right? So anyways, guys, before we talk about not financial advice, guys, and of course, if you guys are interested, this is what Chinese New Year looks like. This is what we're preparing right now. So Chinese New Year is right around the corner. You're supposed to shove these envelopes full of cash. I mean, this is the one time Chinese get a really great holiday. But anyways, you're supposed to shove it with cash and give it to people, right? So it's very much a season of giving, which is why people need to take a little bit of crypto out to fill these pockets, these red envelopes up. But anyways, we'll talk about that in today's episode. Make sure you smash the likes. And with that, guys, let's get started with the new intro. Anyways, I love Elon. I love Elon. He tweeted that just now. I was like, Perfect for these times. So we got Glenberg Juliana. Good morning, man. OMG, Dogecoin. This is freaking hilarious. Anyways, let's take a quick look at the markets. Let's take a quick glance at everything that's happening on here. We got, let's see, we got Ethereum down a little bit. Okay, so yeah, you guys probably glanced at last week's charts because I left it open on this Brave browser window. But yeah, so we're down a little bit. Okay, so yeah, realistically, things don't always go up, but things can sometimes go down as well. So past 24 hours, we're down 3%, which is not outrageous right now. So there was quite a strong recovery. So why I'm really looking at Ethereum charts right now is because it's the more volatile asset and the one that just dumped a little bit more aggressively yesterday. So we'll look at the majors, then we'll look at the alts, and then we'll take a look at how things go. Okay, so Ethereum is the one I prepared up for the most. So basically, I've pretty much redrew my resistance and the supports over here because previously you kind of figured out that the previous resistance is now becoming the support right now, right? So we have the support really at around 1500-ish, and we have the resistance almost at 18K. Oh, sorry, not 18K, 1,800. So yesterday, there was a dive. Okay, so all the weak hands were bleeding out at this current point. People were freaking out at 1,500, and I was telling people, yo, that's my sharping time, yo. This is a great time to be sharp, to going shopping at this hour, because obviously Ethereum dropped, taking down a lot of the alt currencies with it yesterday. But this is gonna something important because obviously we need to know where our supports are at that point, right? So this is much in line with the CME as well. So a lot of this reason, the speculation behind why Ethereum dumped so aggressively is because the CME opened its doors to Ethereum trading. So this is like the news that was going to hit on February the 8th. And normally speaking, what happens is that the rally appears before, right? Buy the rumors, sell the news, right? This is kind of the situation of crypto and how everything goes, right? So we knew February the 8th that was going to happen. So buy the rumor, everyone's buying up right before that. And then the sell came on the 8th, right? So it came on the 8th, well, right now on the 8th, right, for us right now. So it came, and then, yeah, it turns out the support is really, really strong, right? It bounced like straight back, right? The bears tried to take it down, try to see if they wanted to explore that that area down there, 13K maybe, but nope. The bulls said nope. Not today, guys, not today. So that's kind of aggressively what happened. So CME started 6 p.m. EST. So usually it's around that time people get itchy, right? Like people always get so very. So the dump was quite aggressive, right? So probably freaked out a lot of people. But from what we saw is that the support is strong. So the dump pretty much failed and fizzled, right? No catastrophic damage at all whatsoever. And then the market's just moved up directly right now, and we're at the stage where we're trying to see, okay, look, we're in this now, we're still in this channel, which is great. And then what the next thing that we got to wait for is Chinese New Year, right? So Chinese New Year is the FUD event, right? The fear, uncertainty, and doubt. What are the Chinese going to do during that time? So yet again, after that, of course, we have the U.S. Tax season coming up. So this is kind of the big event. If it doesn't dump during this time, I'm like ultra bullish, right? I'm gonna turn to become like the biggest bull in the world, right? So right now, like obviously, I'm still spectating what's happening here, but I did close out any shorts I have, right? So like yet again, the situation was like short is when you expect the markets to go down, and those were placed a little bit towards Friday. I was telling you I was being a little bit defensive, guys. And then, of course, I'm closing them out right now because I feel like I don't want to hold a short in this market. That's not the wise situation. After we saw what happened with CME and etc., I took my gains. I gained, I won the trade because crypto did move down a slight bit. I protected my positions, but at this current point, closing all shorts out because, not the smart thing to do at this current point. And we got David Borshell Shields. It's Chinese New Year going to cause a big pump. Maybe that might be the case because typically speaking, the sells are prior to Chinese New Year, right? Typically speaking, the Chinese start selling because they need to make sure that during the holidays, during the long holidays, they are not overexposed to crypto. So usually that happens like 2 weeks in advance, right? So in the weeks leading up to Chinese New Year, the Chinese are selling. But what's interesting is the Wall Street bets happened straight during that time, right? So the dumps never really came, right? We saw kind of like the markets like fumbling a little bit right before, 2 weeks before Chinese New Year, but then nope, nothing happened. So now we're kind of waiting to see how much fear there is during this period, and if there's not a lot, yeah, ultra bullish, here we go, right? So those are the two combined factors why we kind of moved down, right? So the impending Chinese New Year, people are still a little bit uncertain, a little bit of PTSD from 2018, if you guys remember the 50% drops during this period. But I want to say it's not the exact date, it's a period that causes the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And once we clear this period, that's when I turn ultra bullish anyways. And also, of course, CME already, that's already launching. And yet again, buy the rumors, sell the news. The news sold, but the sell-off pressure was not that huge, right? Which is a very, very strong signal. So yet again, it's a situation where strong hands, that's congratulations if you have strong hands, and then we're back on track. Anyways, so that's my current take on the Bitcoin, on Ethereum. Then taking a look at Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin also pushed up almost to 40K again. So we did definitely see that strong resistance coming in. So this is becoming the major barrier for Bitcoin. And I definitely see that if we are to break it, right, we're to break it after Chinese New Year. So after this fear is cleared up, like maybe like 1 or 2 days after Chinese New Year, that could be a possibility for the markets to move up aggressively in this case. Yet again, the Bitcoin and Ethereum bring up the entire market with it. And taking a look at the top, the other movements here, we got Elrond, so strong, up 50%. Avalanche as well. And to be honest, I took up a position in Avalanche on Friday. So I was telling you guys I have the list of coins here that I was taking positions of, right? And Avalanche was one of them. So I'm there. I'm riding this wave with everyone. Next, of course, Doge, right? Doge is ridiculous, right? It's now at 7 cents. Elon is tweeting it non-stop. I'll talk about, you know what? Let's talk about it now. Let's just take a look at this very quick clip for a second. This is like Elon being interviewed about crypto. So yeah, here we go.
You just speculate and kind of like, I don't know, maybe have some fun. I mean, it's like there's a good chance that crypto is the future currency of Earth. Right. And then it's like, well, which one is it going to be? And maybe it'll be multiple. But it should be considered speculation at this point. And so, don't go too far on the crypto speculation part.
So disposable income is okay, but don't bet the farm on it?
Don't bet the farm on crypto.
Right.
Don't bet the farm on crypto, to be clear.
I hear you. Does it matter that Dogecoin was invented as a joke? Is the technology still there for it to scale for humanity to use as a coin?
Well,
there you go.
I think it's actually the point is that Dogecoin was invented as a joke, as essentially to make fun of cryptocurrency, and that's why I think there's like an argument like fate loves irony. Like the most entertaining outcome is what would be the most ironic outcome? That the currency that was invented as a joke, in fact, becomes the real currency.
Right? No, absolutely. So, to the moon.
To the moon.
Do you still believe in humanity? Does humanity have a chance?
Yeah, I think so. What do you guys think?
Come on, I think we better start giving back to one another.
Okay, I agree. Okay, guys.
I love Elon. Obviously humanity doesn't have a chance if you read between the lines. When he like when he was asked, does humanity have a chance? He was like, yeah, sure, why not? Okay, whatever you say, right? Whatever you want to hear, bud. So anyways, he's going full in on Dogecoin. Obviously he's making fun of it, and we just got a comment from TK, stop it with the Dogecoin, stop it, and that's pretty much the overall comment of r/cryptocurrency right now. We have so much hate on Dogecoin. Dogecoin produces 10,000 coins per block, roughly 1 per minute. That's around 14 million coins per day. Let's see how you can sustain these numbers with these a pump with these numbers against you. Elon is going to get millions of people wrecked. Elon is trolling full cryptocurrency cryptocurrency space is demonstrating that simply tweeting can push a crypto to the top 10 and it's working. Unpopular opinion, Doge is fun, but actively delegitimizing the cryptocurrency space. So much salt. Elon said something, and then everyone on Reddit's like, let's get our pitchforks out. Why he know like Bitcoin? Oh my god. Anyways, I thought I just thought it was hilarious, honestly, guys. I think like at this point, guys, yes, I definitely think Elon is fully, trolling hard at this current point, but he obviously knows what he's doing, right? He obviously knows it doesn't have developers, and I like CZ's answer on that Dogecoin issue as well. It's the most decentralized currency in the world because the developers left long ago. Well, not the most one, right? Because Bitcoin, Satoshi's gone too, but it's a very decentralized coin, right? Because the developers left a long time ago, no centralization. But we do have to remember that Dogecoin is very centralized in terms of distribution. The top coin of Doge, the top holder of Doge rather, has around 21% of the entire supply of Doge. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But obviously, I feel like right now there's a lot of irrationality on the market, or what seems irrational, like irony in the market too. And I think that's something that I've very much come in terms with, and I can laugh about it. I think a lot of people are super serious about this, and unfortunately, if you're super serious right now about crypto, and this is something I realized this morning, right, when I was like shaking my hands at the at the computer for clicking wrong buttons. If you're super serious, you're gonna get screwed over because unfortunately, no one else is super serious, right? And you have to take a little bit of humor with everything else. That's kind of for me, right? I think, yeah, that's what I'm gonna comment. So anyway, so Doge is moving up quite a lot. We explored the whole Elon Musk thing. I mean, he's been tweeting everything, and that video that I started off the intro, that was the video from 2014 that I retweeted. It's got like 123,000 likes at this current point. So I doubt Dogecoin is gonna die out at any moment this year. Although, of course, I think Kaido says Doge is the Bitconnect this bull run. I don't really think so. I think like people know that it's a joke. Like I feel like it's a situation where Bitconnect was something that people thought was legit, right? Like most people, when they attack me for calling out Bitconnect as a scam, they claim, oh, you just don't understand Bitconnect. Bitconnect is generating real revenue. Bitconnect is really, having trading bots, and it's generating that cash. You just don't understand it. You're a noob. You don't read enough. You're incompetent. That was what was mostly said about me during the time when I criticized Bitconnect, right? Because everyone was that's a kind of the effect of a Ponzi, right? Ponzi's, the people who are in the Ponzi believe that this is legitimate, right? People do believe it's legitimately giving money. So a good example of a Ponzi would be Bernard Madoff, right? Madoff was claiming he was generating 10% and that he was super legit on the market. And that's kind of like one of the biggest Ponzi's of kind of the last decade, right? People actually believed, right? People who were in it believed it was real. We do see some of that as well. We definitely see HEX. HEX is one of those coins where there will be some certain people in that who think that this will be like a certificate of deposit or some crazy thing for Bitcoin, and they'll believe it. And it's kind of funny because we do have people attacking me on this channel for calling HEX out. The comment that made me laugh the loudest last session was like, oh, well, Richard Hart asked, the founder of HEX, who is also the founder of the Ponzi scheme, asked, why does all your DeFi picks get hacked whilst HEX does not, right? You knew box mining. Why does your DeFi, decentralized finance picks always get hacked? Well, the difference here is that it's very easy to write a Ponzi contract, right? It's super easy. It's not hard, right? Money that goes into it gets paid pretty much to the people who hold it, right? 20% goes to Richard Hart. Very easy to audit, right? Not very hard. But recreating centralized finance, creating a new financial system, that is relatively difficult. And this is why, in many cases, why there will definitely be a lot more hacks in decentralized finance, because that backbone architecture that's being laid out right now is going to serve pretty much the new financial system, right? And there's so much experimentation there, and there's so much room for error. Like I was learning about the Iron Bank, right? So this is done by guys at Cream, and they're like a financial infrastructure which allows other protocols to borrow from them. It's kind of like how the central bank works, right? So if any of these protocols are whitelisted and they need to borrow money from the Iron Bank, inspired by Game of Thrones, of course, well, they need to borrow that there. So we definitely see a more aggressive infrastructure in decentralized finance, and you definitely see that the stuff that they're doing here is like, it's like my mind is blown, right? Like speaking decentralized finance right now is like speaking another language. It's like you have to be very, very familiar with both how the current financial system works, how certain elements are working together, and then how some of that translates to decentralized finance, how it works together, and then you're aggressively looking at something like composability, how various contracts can interact with each other, and how do you make sure that they all can communicate effectively without any breaks in command. And that's a lot harder. That is a lot harder. So anyways, as always, we got Brandon Smith says 500 people watching. The next crypto pump is coming. Anyways, guys, by the way, if you guys just entered, make sure you do smash up those likes. Big thank you to everyone who smashed up those likes and, participate in our chats. We're going to do a little bit more aggressive. So in terms of overall content this week, a lot of content last week for me personally was just looking at the scene of everything that's going on. Hence this big, blackboard of stuff I'm writing down, what is new, right? What is new? What is on the cutting edge of everything? So I'm pretty much decided on Boxmining Innovation Zone, which is the one where we talk about kind of all the new innovations coming out. So absolutely, they can get hacked, they can get broken, but at the same time, they're the ones that are doing most of the heavy lifting in terms of the innovation that's coming into space. So we're definitely going to have Innovation Zone on Boxmining coming very, very soon, and discuss everything that's going on in the decentralized finance space, because I feel like this is something I definitely want to be part of, right? Because a lot of people very, very early on, they're like, oh, Boxmining, why are you talking about all these like scams? What's YFI? What's this? What's that? But they're not scams, right? These projects are becoming now the blue chips of decentralized finance. I know that word's being thrown around all the time in the crypto discussion rooms, but it is absolutely true. The big ones like AVA, right? AVA, Synthetix, we got YFI and the whole ecosystem, Cream. All of this stuff is now becoming so core. So when I first talk about it, it might seem like these projects are just upstart, lots of error, potential for error, very, very complicated contracts also. But at the same time, they're becoming super dominant. Just for example, YFI, I got in this super early, right? When it was first being distributed out. This is insane, right? This was all these coins, right? The market cap is 916 million at this current point, so just a little bit shy of 1 billion. All these coins were given out for free, right? Okay, yeah. They distributed some for the new developers, but the initial 20,000, all of that is what's given out for free. That's insane, right? And that was really because of yield farming. They gave it out to people who were farming that token, who were actively participating, locking up funds on that platform. So you can definitely see that this is something that's worth talking about. There are so many jokes about the space, but if you really look and spend the time to figure out what is valuable, what is not, you're going to be a big winner in the space. If you're not going to spend the time, if you're not going to spend the effort, if you're just gonna go on that Elon Doge thing, who knows, right? But if you spend the time, you're gonna be winner chicken dinner for absolute certainty. So anyways, that's pretty much out there. So Giovanni Torgesca says, what's your thoughts on R, AVA, and everything else? So we're gonna talk about Innovation Zone very soon, and we're gonna have an episode on that very soon. So upcoming, make sure you click the subscribe button. We're gonna talk a lot more aggressive about everything that's happening, especially a little bit of the harder stuff too, like the stuff I was talking about, the Iron Bank, and even a little bit more about tech, right? Like Avalanche has a lot of new other stuff that's going on, and I definitely feel like it's worth it. Even Linear is doing super well recently. If you guys follow me, I went pretty big into Lina Linear. And yeah, it's one of those coins that just took off to the moon, right? Now it's pumping like mad this morning, right? It's almost at 1 cent right now. Before it was at 0.1 cent. I mean, just look at the difference of that, right? In fact, it was less than that. So yeah, this market is going up insane levels, and I think it's definitely worth exploring a lot of that. So that's kind of the idea of everything that's going on, and we'll definitely have a lot of recommendations and suggestions as well going forward at this point. So anyways, I think that's pretty much it for today's news update wise. So we got the CME tweets out. We got Elon talking about everything. I actually talked to looking at the news, I didn't actually see too much real news to talk about. Yes, there are progressive crypto laws. I feel like, yeah, sure, okay, you can do that. We got Elon talking about Doge. We got some outdated news about the Ethereum dump, which really didn't happen. So not too much. Yeah, pretty much that's what's happening. Jason Wu says yield app. Why not? I hold yield. People are asking about yield app. There's actually a lot that I want to catch up on, to be honest. Yeah, there's so much going on in this space. Like, I feel like it's something that I want to double down on my time on. And at the same time, it's like, how do you structure your time? Like, that becomes a very big question for me. And yeah, I've been taking a little bit of a break because I was just super burnt out from last week after all the Clubhouse chats and everything. I was pretty much on Clubhouse like 16 hours a day, right? And then I realized, okay, you know what? It's time to take a break. And I feel like that's kind of slowly coming in. I mean, the weekend I pretty much did nothing. Yeah, that's pretty my guilty confessions of this weekend. I did nothing other than just a minimal amount of crypto stuff, like just setting everything in order. And then, yeah, today I feel like starting to get back into motion. I mean, it's Monday, but I don't really feel it yet. Maybe because it's Chinese New Year just around the corner. So I'm like, my mentality is like all about, chill, relaxing and stuff. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much this point. So I'm going to cut this episode a little bit short. I think like this is pretty much what I wanted to say. And instead of extending it too long, I think that's pretty much what I want to give you guys updates on. We're going to have more updates throughout the week, and we're going to do the Innovation Zone as a separate episode, so it's a much easier on me personally. And of course, if you guys want to join in the chats and the discussions, make sure you leave a comment down below. We'll try to open up the Telegram group up over the week as well. And with that, guys, I think that's pretty much it. So thank you guys so much for watching today, and we'll see you pretty much this week. Make sure you subscribe, and that's it. Thank you so much. Cheers. I'd like to take the time now to tell you a little bit about everything that's happening in the box mining ecosystem. First and foremost, if you guys like listening to all that's happening in crypto on the go, then I would highly recommend you checking out the Boxmining Bitcoin Out of the Box podcast. And the reason why it's called Bitcoin Out of the Box is because we have long interview segments very much exploring the detail of the newest and latest of what's going on in this whole cryptocurrency space. Whole idea of it is to bridge that gap between knowledge privileged institutional investors and the rest of us here in this space. Now, with the podcast, it's on everything. So it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Spotify. Just search it anywhere, Bitcoin Out of the Box. So just add that onto a playlist and then just follow the new episodes when it's released. Next up, we also have the Boxmining newsletter. So this happens roughly bi-weekly. We give you an update of the latest that's going on in a very summarized, condensed format. So this is perfect for anyone that wants an overview of the market. Say, for example, what's happening with OKX, the biggest event, or maybe the little things like what's happening with different coins and overall the trend. So what I use the newsletter for personally myself is to understand what kind of phase we're in crypto, to kind of get in tune. So if you don't read crypto every day, the newsletter is perfect for you. Last but not least, in the link down below, if you're a Telegram user, we have the Boxmining announcements channel. So this is to announce to you basically what's the latest videos coming up, but also we have a daily update, a community-driven daily update to provide you an idea of the latest updates on a day. And a lot of people have been using that to get informed of the crazy amounts of trends that we see. And I have to give a big thank you for Claudio, our community member, for doing this. It's just been phenomenal. Definitely want to give you a shout out there, Claudio, as well for that. And taking us to the end of the live stream, so make sure, number one, you click like and subscribe on this video because it really does help this channel. And then, of course, check out the podcast. It's one of the best ways to know a little bit more, to extend that knowledge, especially in your spare time. And then, of course, check out the newsletter. If you're, if you want those updates and summaries and trends, newsletter is the place for you. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you have a good one. See you in the next video.